Bitcoin.
It's going up forever.
You're against Bitcoin. You're against freedom.
Yo! Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live, your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. Cover breaking news, culture, nomadic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Interesting news. Actually, this happened last week when Kevin McCarthy, first time in American history, a speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, was ousted, essentially. He was voted out. And the intern speaker, Patrick McHenry, he is extremely, to say the least, pro-Bitcoin. Now, they're still figuring it out who's going to be the next speaker, but it looks like someone in line for the potential to be the next speaker of the House of Representatives is someone named Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer was the guy who, when we played you the clip of Gary Gensler getting absolutely grilled, that was Tom Emmer. He is extremely pro-Bitcoin, to say the least. He is extremely anti-CBDC, to say the least. So overall, this is very interesting. Now, that's not to say that the next speaker of the House is going to be pro-Bitcoin. It looks like it's going to be Steve Scalise. But it's another indication of where things are going, where the momentum is going. If I would have told you 5 years ago what is happening today, you would not have believed me. If I would have told you 10 years ago that the price of Bitcoin would be at 27,397, you would not believe me. If I told you 5 or 10 years ago that Bitcoin was made a legal tender of a nation state, you would have not believed me. If I told you 5 years ago that Tesla and MicroStrategy, two public companies, are holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet, you would not have believed me. If I told you that two people running for the U.S. presidency in second place in their parties, RFK Jr., well, he just dropped out. He's running as an independent now, but he was second, trailing Joe Biden in the Democratic presidential candidacy. And also we have Ron DeSantis and not to mention Vivek Ramaswamy, who have both gone out staunchly against CBDCs, extremely pro-Bitcoin. And Ron DeSantis, using his power as the governor of Florida, actually passed a law in Florida that would make it illegal for CBDCs to roll out in Florida. So in terms of moving the Overton window, in terms of things moving the way they were moving, we are definitely headed in the right direction. And this kind of reinforces a theory that we've been laying out on Simply Bitcoin over the last couple of months. I truly believe that in 5 years, it is going to become politically unviable for any candidate to stand against Bitcoin. Too many people in the population is going to be holding Bitcoin. Too many people are going to be taking self-custody of Bitcoin. So really, for the unproductive class, for the monetary demons, it is a race against time, because they truly do have to roll out these CBDCs very, very, very quickly. And most importantly, convince people not to use the alternative, and the alternative is Bitcoin. But they're going to have an uphill battle, because they're going to have to convince people to not only use a money that could potentially censor them, like what happened during the Canadian truckers protest, but they are also going to have to convince people to use a money that decreases in purchasing power. Now, that is the point that we have to emphasize. We have to keep pressing that point, because it is an indefensible point for them. They bury their head in the sand. They pull an ostrich every time that is even brought up. So their strategy right now is just ignoring the benefits of Bitcoin, ignoring the fact that a money can exist that doesn't decrease in purchasing power, because if they acknowledge it, the cat's out of the bag. That's game over to the deficit spending. That's game over to the 1.5 trillion that the US government spends every single year, more than it collects in tax revenue. And then people are going to start asking the question, wait a second, how are you able to spend more money than you have? And then that inevitably leads you to, oh, it's because you guys have a money printer. Oh, is that why I'm getting poorer? This is all starting to make sense now, right? So They don't want that to happen. That's why you see the propaganda coming out of the IMF. They released this high production value video, which we played you guys last week when we were in LA. They blamed everything and anything but the money printer, for the cause of inflation. They blamed the pandemic. They blamed the wars. They blamed Russia. They blamed workers asking for money. Anything that you can think of, they blamed but themselves. They are the sole cause of your money, the dollar or whatever fiat currency you use in your country. The government is solely responsible for that money losing value. Why is it losing value? Because they're debasing it. They're printing more of it, but they don't want you to know that. They want you to stay uninformed. And they benefited tremendously from having this monopoly, this control of the narrative. Remember Nayib Bukele's article, Don't Drink the Elite's Kool-Aid. He says that their most important weapon is their control over the truth. Use the internet. The internet has empowered you, the individual, to get the truth out there. Make memes. Talk to your uncles, talk to your family, talk to your friends who are still asleep. Wake them up to the reality that, hey, it's not left versus right causing all these political divisions and economic hardships. It is literally because the money is broken. You fix the money, you fix the world. But these are very, very exciting times. Holy cow. I know he's an interim speaker, Opti. I know he's not, technically he is the Speaker of the House. And technically the Speaker of the House right now is a Bitcoiner. He loves Bitcoin, but he wasn't elected. He's just a temporary speaker. But hey, some small steps at a time. And I think we're definitely headed in the right direction. We have a non-zero chance that we have a Bitcoiner in the White House in 2024. I know it's a low chance, but still, man, could you imagine 5-10 years from now? It's going to seem undeniable. It's going to be, oh, this was obvious. This was always going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I say it all the time, especially in America. American politicians fighting Bitcoin just sounds so anti-American as far as I'm concerned, and it's only a matter of time. It's probably not this election cycle coming up next year, but the following one where Bitcoin is the point of contention moving forward, because even I'm back home, I'm having these conversations with my family, and everyone is understanding that they are printing more money and making us poorer. And once you start messing with people's pocketbooks, that's when shit really hits the fan. So I think moving forward, especially considering that inflation's getting out of control, and I think we're about to hit $34 trillion, things are going to get crazy. And everyone always wonders what is going on, especially when they start getting poorer. So it's going to become very obvious that money is the most important political topic going forward. Of course, they'll try to obfuscate this. Of course, they'll, pull all kinds of psyops to gaslight the people. But I said it earlier today in the spaces, as the world goes more and more crazy, as more and more insane stuff happens in the world, Sats are a stable coin. Bitcoin is the stability in this world, and it's the fiat world that is going absolutely haywire. So I don't know. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but I was thinking about it yesterday while I was taking a shower and trying to go to bed. It was like, man, fiat world, it's going nuts. But I don't know, Bitcoin world, everything's going good. TikTok next block. We're out here getting fit. We're out here eating good food, hanging out with people we love, continuing to provide value. So I don't know. I feel pretty good, even though in some sense I might be feeling a little guilty. It's like, oh, there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'm just like happy stacking sats, creating Bitcoin content, living a good life. I don't know. I'm trying not to feel guilty about living a good life and being on the Bitcoin standard, but it's getting crazy out there, and you can tell in real time that the normies are starting to lose their mind. So it's never been a better time to do the Simply Bitcoin Opti message of get yourself physically fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit, because it's only going to become more and more important that we have a bunch of ardent Bitcoin warriors out there that are helping their friends and family get on the Bitcoin standard, because things are getting crazy. So hey, man, it's just it's a beautiful time to be a Bitcoiner, but also it's a little bittersweet just considering how crazy the world's actually getting. And here we are just playing a game of Hungry Hippo and trying to wake up the world to get on the Bitcoin standard. Anyways.
100%.
Oh, wait. Before we go on, culture today, I realized yesterday how few of you guys in the chat aren't running a node. So I did a whole node breakdown for you guys today. We must be doing you a disservice if you guys aren't running nodes, guys. So we're going to do some quick node breakdown, minimum requirements, some different options, and then of course why you should run a node. But let's get into the show, Nico.
Quick question. Did you drink coffee today?
I drank some. It kind of hurt my stomach. It's still early. I'm not as jacked up as usual, but I just start ranting, Nico, and I'll be good to go.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right, everybody.
It's
let's
too
start
early
the
over here on the West Coast.
Let's start the show. Let's jump into it. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. All right, guys, you literally have no excuse. I made it super simple for you guys. You can scan the QR code on your screen. It will take you directly to the Stamp Seed website. You can get yourself a Stamp Seed titanium seed phrase storage kit. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off. Definitely do it. You don't want to explain to your grandchildren why you lost your generational wealth. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 27,465. Sats per dollar, 3,641. Block height, 811,553. Blocks to halving, 28,447. Halving estimate April 21st, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,187 Bitcoin. Capacity value 142 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation 1.74%. The market capitalization of Bitcoin $536 billion with a B. Bitcoin versus gold market cap 4.26%. In the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is still a baby. Just to give you guys a reference point, if Bitcoin, when Bitcoin reaches the market cap of gold, that puts it at $500,000 per coin. So I think we're still incredibly early. All right, so sharing some hash rate data, which we don't do very often, but we're gonna do it soon. We have to go back in time, just because if we go back in time, you know, it kind of tells you a little bit of Bitcoin's history, right? So if we go back to April of 2021 and we go back to May of 2021, this is when the Chinese Communist Party banned Bitcoin miners within their borders. You could see the price of Bitcoin literally falling off a cliff. And at the same time, you see the hash rate falling off a cliff. Look, it looks like they're connected. It seems like they're connected. And it makes sense why there was that downward price, that downward sell pressure. And the reason there was that downward sell pressure is all of those miners, more than 50% of the hash rate, had to sell their machines to relocate to another friendlier jurisdiction. A lot of them moved to Texas. This is the sole reason I believe that Bitcoin did not hit 100K last cycle. I truly believe that this ban happened in a very coincidental time, right up in the run up, right when Bitcoin was running up. It's almost as if the price was attacked. Remember, NGU technology is the #1 converter of no coiners. It's the #1 converter of non-believers, because essentially what happens is you tell people about Bitcoin as much as you evangelize it. And the thing is, most of them, 9 out of 10 times, they do not listen to you. They just don't give a flying F. And that's just because, look, people like convenience. This is a very crazy subject to a lot of people. This is definitely outside of the Overton window. And however, they start to remember the time of which you told them. So if you told them to buy Bitcoin at $1,000 and Bitcoin's currently sitting at 27,000, they start to tend to listen all of a sudden, because they're like, holy crap, that crazy kid that his hair dyed, maybe he wasn't so crazy after all, right? So, to me, if there's no way to confirm this, but what's that saying? There's no conspiracies, but there's also no coincidences. And I'm just got to say, this is a major, major, major coincidence that this is when the real-time China ban happened, right? I think this was a nation-state attack on the Bitcoin network. Now, the good news, and this is what I wanted to talk about today, is that the Bitcoin hash rate not only recovered, really, so it fell back down, started falling down May 2021, and it reached back an all-time high in February 2022. So in less than 1 year, even with one of the most powerful nation states in the world attacking the network because of Bitcoin's incentives, and this is something that I tweeted out this morning, Bitcoin won. So there was a party telling Bitcoin to, hey, relocate those miners, move them to El Salvador, move them to Kazakhstan, move them to Texas, move them to Washington State, move them to New York State, move them to Canada, where there's a tremendous amount of hydroelectric capability, move them to Bhutan. No, it was Bitcoin's incentives alone. It was entrepreneurs seeking profit. So they relocated, they sold a lot of Bitcoin, and they relocated those miners overseas. And fast forward, China shot their shot. They can only shoot that one time. And now, by doing that, by attacking Bitcoin, what they did was they made the Bitcoin network stronger, because they made it more decentralized, right? That centralization of mining hash rate in China is no longer the case, even though that it's still estimated that between 15 to 20%, according to an article released by Mackenzie Sagalos, according to the data, it's estimated that between 15 to 20% of the hash rate is still located in China. Maybe that has changed since then, but fast forward to October 9, 2023, according to blockchain.com, the Bitcoin hash rate just made another all-time high. So on a theoretical level, Bitcoin has never been stronger, has never been computationally as strong as it is today. It is significantly stronger, almost double as strong computationally than it was when the China ban occurred, meaning it would take that much more computational power to attack the Bitcoin network, meaning, in my eyes, the value proposition is a lot higher. And what's really interesting about this also, guys, is that last Bitcoin's all-time high, the price of Bitcoin was at 65,496, according to this, right? And the hash rate was about 160, no, it is using as way too long, 165,000 terahashes. And if you compare that to now, the hash rate is at 433,000 terahashes, or 433 million, better said, I apologize. And compared to the all-time high, it was at 166 million terahashes. So, like, the hash rate is higher, meaning theoretically it's more secure, but the price is half as high. So that tells you everything you need to know. And I've never been as bullish. And remember, laying out mining infrastructure and laying out miners is expensive. It's not cheap, right? It's something that costs a lot of money. So if miners feel that bullish laying out remember, and they're laying out all these miners, right, knowing that the halving is coming up, meaning their profitability, the amount of Bitcoin that they're going to be able to mine is going to be cut in half, and they're still deploying more hash rate. That tells you everything you need to know about how miners feel about the future of Bitcoin, specifically the future of Bitcoin's price potential, because they would not be investing in all that mining infrastructure and all those miners if they didn't feel optimistic about Bitcoin's price in the future. Because and when the halving comes, their profitability is literally going to be cut in half. Right? So the price of Bitcoin is going to have to double from where it is now for it to start to make sense for a lot of these miners to mine. If not, they're going to have to unplug their miners, and the hash rate continues to go up. So that tells you everything you need to know. Someone once said, that's a lot smarter than me, follow the money. And I think the hash rate, great indication of how miners feel about the future of Bitcoin. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on this, brother? Hash rate making an all-time, block height making an all-time high, hash rate making an all-time high. When price, bro? When price? When price?
I was about to say that, hey, love to see the hash rate number go up, but hey, I don't mind. I want to see number go up, but this just means Bitcoin, in my opinion, is something we've been saying for a while on the show. Like, it's never been safer to hodl Bitcoin than now. The network's stronger than ever. I think Bitcoin is crossing that mainstream Rubicon. I personally, maybe this is just confirmation bias. I feel like Bitcoin has never been talked about more in public sphere of consciousness. And I really do think it's going to be a very magnificent bull run once the price starts to run. Once the bull begins its run again, it's going to be great. But on the hash rate note and the halving note, hash rate's gone damn near parabolic. The Bitcoin price has gone pretty stable, and we're going to see the halving in the next couple of months. So it's going to be very interesting to see if these big public miners are well capitalized and to see what the small miners are doing as well. Because, hey, we know that mining is probably the most cutthroat free market activity known to man on planet Earth. There's no freer market than ASICs. And if you aren't running your business properly, it could get very bloody for you. And I am sure that the miners out there are feeling some pain if they didn't really calculate that this bear market would go on so long. So it's just going to be very interesting to see what happens and to see how long this hash rate can go parabolic, or whether we'll see a little pullback and we'll get a market correction in hash rate. But I didn't look up at the Luxor prices or the Luxor hash price numbers. So it'd be very interesting to see what's going on out there and to see how profitable the miners are. But, hey, this is good for Bitcoin. As long as they're competing for hash rate, that means that Bitcoin is never stronger than ever. And hey, going through the halving, we're going to see what happens. So there will be some fireworks in regards to the mining space. But I don't know, man. I think as just like a Bitcoin hodler, I would love to see the number go up in price as well. But hey, hash rate's going up. So our money's stronger than ever, guys. Bitcoin network has never been fitter. It's never been better. It's never been a better time to hold Bitcoin, as I've been saying for a while. And I think most of us understand the risk of holding Bitcoin has slowly but surely been minimized, and now is the best time to be buying and holding Bitcoin. And this is why it's the end of the bear market. This is why you want to run nodes, consolidate UTXOs, take your Bitcoin off the exchanges, because mempools are clearing, and Bitcoin just keeps chugging along. TikTok next block.
100%. Bitcoin keeps chugging along. TikTok next motherfucking block. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the largest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth, Bitcoin 2024. It's going to be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee. That's right. It's not going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be in Nashville. Check it out. It's going to be July 25th through the 27th, the year of the halving. You're not going to want to miss it. Get your tickets quickly before the prices go up. For a GA ticket, it's $349. For an industry pass, if you're trying to get a job in the industry, Opti and I actually met for the first time at had a Bitcoin festival, and then one thing led to another, and then look at this. Look, we have Simply Bitcoin, right?
Nico just loved me.
You definitely don't want to, it's mutual, motherfucker. You definitely don't want to, I
love you, Nico.
I love you too, Opti. Okay, you definitely don't want to, oh my God, what is going on? Okay, back to the Bitcoin 2024 promo. You definitely, if you want to try to get a job in the industry, get it. You can get an industry pass for $849. That includes 3 days. The first day is industry day. That's the day that like Michael Saylor will make rounds around the conference, for example. It's a lot more chill. There's a lot less people. So definitely try to get the industry pass if you're trying to get a job in the industry. And of course, if you're a major whale that's been stacking since 2011, you can get a whale pass for $4,749. That will get you a VIP lounge backstage, and you get to see a lot of the, the high profile speakers. You definitely don't want to miss Bitcoin 2024, the largest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth. Get your tickets quickly. Promo code SIMPLY. All right, guys, time for the news.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, everybody. So I, again, made it super easy for you guys. There's literally like, all you got to do is scan the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you directly to the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Check it out. Like it's super, super freaking nice. It's open source. It's easy to use. Definitely highly recommend it. Get yourself a Passport today. Anyways, let's talk about Patrick McHenry. So he, like I was saying earlier, Kevin McCarthy was ousted from Speaker in the House of Representatives. First time in American history. Looks like, fiat is breaking society, breaking politics, breaking the government as the money continues to get disconnected from reality. Everything. What do they call it, man? They say culture is downstream. Politics is downstream from culture. And if the culture has been corrupted by fiat money, if the base layer of society is corrupted, starts to make sense why, politics starts to get so divisive. Things start to break. People start to get hostile towards each other because everyone's starting to they need a solution to what's going on, right? But the only solution that they've been programmed to know is a political solution. But a political solution, like we've been talking to you guys about, it's a divide and conquer. It doesn't fix anything, whether you vote a Republican in power or a Democrat in power, an independent in power. The issue remains the same. There's a bureaucratic elite that have the ability to create money for free that everyone else has to work for. If you are under the age of 35, you are a debt slave. You cannot afford anything. You cannot buy anything. You can't afford a house. You have, why is it that when we were growing up, our grandparents or parents, only had to work one job, the wife or the husband could stay home, take care of the kids. But no, now you have to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. You can't even afford housing. What's going on? What the fuck happened in 1971, ladies and gentlemen? Anyways, so this is Patrick McHenry. Well, Bitcoin is here to save the day. That's the good news. This is Patrick McHenry. He is the acting interim speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. He was made the interim speaker since, like I said, Kevin McCarthy was ousted. Well, guess what? Patrick McHenry is super pro Bitcoin. How do I know? Well, here is macro analyst Lynn Alden. The acting speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives has been hosting the Bitcoin white paper on his subdomain of the House website for almost 3 years now. The government is not a monolith, especially in a republic. It is a mess of many different interests. Imagine telling Satoshi in 2009 that in a little over a decade, there would be leaders of the U.S. government hosting his white paper. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker of the House is third in line for the presidency, right? So it comes the president, the vice president, and then the U.S. Speaker. That is the line of succession. If anything, God forbid, anything happens to the president and the vice president, the Speaker of the House is third in line. Crazy, right? It's absolutely nuts. And again, don't trust, verify. If you go to his website, you can see it up here, mchenry.house.gov. It is a government website. Uploaded files, bitcoin.pdf. This is the Bitcoin.
Wait, Nico, you're on the Chrome tab, so we can't see the actual domain, the www or whatever.
Oh, okay. Here, let me pull it up. Let me put it in the comment section, and we could do that. So yes,
so they can verify.
So yes, so don't trust, verify. You guys could pull this up yourself. You go to this website, and literally it has a .gov website. This is a government website. This is absolutely crazy. Third U.S. presidency, in the line of succession, just in case something happens, God forbid. This guy's hosting the Bitcoin white paper, right? Someone said in the comments, Narwhal Tacos, FYI, Patrick McHenry was the first governor of Virginia who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." You know what that reminds me of? Bitcoin or death. Shout out Beauty On, right? So this is crazy. And again, guys, this news by itself is a big nothing burger, right? It's like, oh, Nico, this is just noise. It's just noise. What I want you guys to do is connect the dots. That's what we do in the show. We connect the dots for you, right? So if we're just looking at it by itself, you would say, okay, that's just another pro Bitcoin candidate. But you have to put the pieces together. So this is Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer, again, he led the Financial Services Committee to absolutely grill Gary Gensler the other day. He has a good shot at becoming the next Speaker of the House. He is completely against central bank digital currencies. In fact, he introduced a bill to block CBDCs, and he is extremely pro not only Bitcoin, crypto, okay, whatever, but at least it's headed in the right direction, so to speak. So he has an actual shot of being elected to be the next Speaker of the House, and that would be absolutely massive, right? So I'm trying to paint a picture, guys, of where this is going, the direction of where this is going. Okay, so it's not only, members of the House of Representatives. Also, shout out Warren Davidson, right? He's been the most pro Bitcoin advocate. He spoke at multiple Bitcoin conferences, so I have to give him a shout out. He's another member of House of Representatives that's been extremely pro Bitcoin. But it isn't just members of the House of Representatives. It is also presidential candidates, right? This is Ron DeSantis, and not only did he pass an anti-CBDC bill in Florida, but he also, one of his presidential promises was that he would ban CBDCs if elected president, and he would also be pro Bitcoin. But it wasn't only Ron DeSantis on the Republican side. We have, of course, RFK Jr., and he's saying some even crazier stuff in terms of the normies, crazy, but for us Bitcoiners, it's like, okay, cool. And he vows to back dollar with Bitcoin and exempt Bitcoin from taxes. Now, if you think about that last statement, it's very, very powerful. It's almost opening Pandora's box for them. Because if you think about it, it's like, why are you paying, okay, so let's say you're using Bitcoin as money, right? Bitcoin is your unit of account. And you have to sell some of that Bitcoin to convert it into dollars, right? I'm confused. Why do I have to pay capital gains on the money that I've made? It's just money that I'm using, right? Why do I have to pay capital gain? And again, I'm paying capital gains as it relates to dollars, but dollars are designed to lose purchasing power over time. Again, once you open Pandora's box, once you start asking, once the general public starts asking these questions, they do not have answers for them. They do not have answers. They've been used to this racket for the end of time, right? Really, since they instituted the Federal Reserve System since 1971, they've been used to this privilege of being able to create money for free. They've been used to this privilege on having a monopoly on money, right? But that privilege is ending. And this was predicted back in the book, The Sovereign Individual. I read you guys a passage from it yesterday. I'm going to read you guys a passage from it today again, because it is very, very fitting, especially because of the times that we're living in. So it goes on to say, new technologies will allow the holders of wealth to bypass the national monopolies that have issued and regulated money in the modern period. Their importance for controlling the world's wealth will be transcended by mathematical algorithms that have no physical existence. In the new millennium, cyber money controlled by private markets will supersede fiat money issued by governments. Only the poor will be victims of inflation and ensuring collapses into deflation that are consequences of the artificial leverage which fiat money injects into the economy. Can't believe this book predicted this back in the 90s. Anyways, dude, this is crazy in terms of moving the Overton window, in terms of how fast things are shifting. This is absolutely bonkers. Lynn Alden hit the nail on the head. I said the same thing when I started the show. Like, if you would have told me this 5 years ago, like, I would not have believed you. If you would have told me that in Argentina, we have a the Javier Milei has an extremely high probability of winning the presidency, and he's literally campaigning on let's end the motherfucking central bank. like I would have you would have been like, this is crazy. And you know how we're over the target, ladies and gentlemen? The attack by the legacy corporate media. They're losing their fucking minds. They're losing it. They can't believe this is happening. They're just like, this is nuts. This is insane. I can't believe this. El Salvador is a threat to democracy. Argentina, this guy's a right-wing extremist. He's a threat to democracy. These guys are threats to democracy. Even though Javier Milei is like winning democratically, right? Even though Nayib Bukele has the highest approval rating in the Americas out of any president. Maybe because he's actually doing the things that he said he was going to do if elected. How the F are those guys a threat to democracy? How do they define democracy? Right? Is democracy only when they get their way, when the IMF gets their way, when the World Bank gets their way? Is that what you define as democracy? Because that's not what the definition of democracy is, bro. So yeah, we got to keep on. We got to keep the pressure on. We got to keep continuing to expose the hypocrisy, expose the misrepresentation. All you got to do is shine a light of truth on it. That's it. Expose it. Just say, this is why you're wrong. I have the data. And they hate that. They hate that you can do that to them in real time, which is why they want to censor the internet the way they do. Because they can't have that. They've never lived in a world where the people could speak up to them and actually even garner bigger audiences than them. They're not used to operating in this world. They've been operating in a world where they've controlled the information flows. Right? Whether it's the legacy corporate media, Parker Lewis doesn't even call it the legacy corporate media. Parker Lewis literally calls it, that's government media. He's even saying it like that, right? So, but now the internet has empowered you. It's disintermediated information. So now you can create a YouTube account, a Rumble account, a Twitter account, a Nostr account, and you can convey information to anyone directly to them without any intermediaries trying to censor you or trying to shift the narrative. And it's short-circuiting them. So keep on the pressure, take agency, take action, put it upon yourself, keep those memes up, keep that pressure up, keep that truth coming out. And I think we'll win. I think we'll overcome this because we got the truth on our side and we got Bitcoin on our side. Anyways, Opti, What's your take on all this, bro? This is some bullish news, bro. Bullish stuff. Not gonna lie.
Well, you're the first one to really hit me to the importance of politicians and rather politics in general. And we get some flack in the chat all the time because we say that Bitcoin is apolitical. It's not left versus right. It's orange versus green. But with that very statement, we know that Bitcoin being apolitical means it is the most political thing out there, because look at what's going on around the world, man. Politicians use money to fund things. Like, they are literally printing money out of thin air to fund whatever their pet project is of the time, whatever it is they need to get elected, whatever they need to, I don't know, gaslight the average individual out there so that they can gain their favor. And so we know that money is political, guys. And this is why Bitcoin, separating money from state, is the most political thing. With that being said, the fact that what would you say the third most important person, at least in governmental terms?
No. In the line of
third
succession.
Succession.
In the line of succession, God forbid, if anything happens to the president, and if anything happens to the vice president, God forbid, in the presidential line of succession, it's the Speaker of the House. And currently the intern Speaker of the House is he's pro Bitcoin, anti CBDC.
Well, I'm not going to say that part because we're still on YouTube. I was going to crack a joke, but it might be a little distasteful. Anyways, what I really liked about that Lynn Alden tweet that you pulled up, it's something that has become very clear to me as well. Politicians are not a monolith. Like, even within the U.S. government, it's not a monolith, and in a even bigger scope, all governments are not one monolith. There isn't just like one government. There isn't like the government out there. There is a lot of warring factions that are vying for power. And I think it's very important that people need to remember that yeah, maybe people are politicians, maybe they are left, right, but we've seen what's happened in politics, especially in the US the last couple of years, or even with what happened with the Speaker of the House. Right? Didn't he, wasn't he basically in cahoots with the opposite side of the aisle and getting paid and stuff? I don't know the full details of it. But anyways, I say all this to say is you don't know who your enemies are and you don't know who your friends are, especially when it comes to politics, especially when it comes to power. And so I think it's a disservice for Bitcoiners, and we all fall into this trope to, I don't know, think like the conspiratorial view of like, oh, they're all working in it together, and there's a cabal of, I don't know, whatever nomenclature you want to use, parasites out there that are trying to coerce and enslave humanity. Well, yes and no. We know that there is probably that happening, but it's not one giant monolith. And I think it's important for us to just keep remembering that there is warring factions right now. There is good versus evil right now. And you're not saying politicians are even good or evil per se. I'm just saying that their incentives aren't always aligned. And you asked a very important question in regards to, like, if the euro purchasing power goes up, you don't pay capital gains on it. So like, we shouldn't be doing that on Bitcoin. And I'd love to see that finally capital gains do get dropped on magic internet money. But on that same note, and the question I thought you were going to ask is, like, if they can print money, why can't they just print the taxes, Nico? Like, what's the point of taxes besides literal just like keep the little man down and enslave you? Darth Coin said it in the chat, like Nico said it. Nico said the quiet part out loud, like, you are debt slaves. And this is just where we are. And I think it's the most important thing to be doing is trying to educate your friends and family. Like, I was having these conversations with my parents yesterday because they were watching like CNN and it was just nothing but warmongering. And I was just like, it doesn't matter either side of the aisle. As long as they're printing more money, we're all getting poorer. And that's the only thing that really matters, is the fact that we are getting poorer. It doesn't matter what the pretense is. We are getting poorer because they are either printing money to fund wars or they're printing money for welfare programs. Like, it doesn't really matter. The results are the same. If you print more money, you are inflating the money supply and your purchasing power goes down. Like, this is the basics of it, which means you are getting poorer. You need to hold something that allows you to escape inflation. And of course, this is Bitcoin. And something you said, you asked about democracy. And this is something I've picked up recently. It's just the understanding that democracy is very much a negative word. Like it's a coded word. It's a heavy loaded word. And anytime I'm hearing like the public welfare or the public good, it just, in my opinion, it's just code for looting the average person. Like anytime those terms are being lauded and pushed forward, it's just code that the average person will agree with these terms, but they know that, like, yeah, we're not doing what's good for the public. We're doing what's good for me and my friends, and we're parading it as, oh, this is for the public good of everyone, but it's really most about just a small cabal of business interests. Like, you know, it's basically like saying, Nico and I are doing some business ventures, and to get you guys to agree with it, we're saying, oh, is this for the public good? But really, we're the ones profiting off it. Like, this is a game going on, guys. Anytime I hear public welfare, all I think is looting, and they're just using this word to gaslight the average individual. And so we're in this position right now as Bitcoiners where, as much as we say and talk about ending the Fed, and the fact that the Fed is not federal and it has no reserves, we don't have an actual alternative.
By the way, what you just said, that's not Opti's words. Nayib Bukele literally said that on Tucker Carlson today.
Yeah, it's not me. Like, I'm pretty sure even Ron Paul's been saying, like, that's been said for a long time now. But in that sense, like, this is what it means to be a Bitcoiner at this current time. It's like we're building out that parallel system, because if they did end the Fed today and there's no alternative, like the consequences of that are going to be way worse than we are right now. We need that slow, gradual trickle into Bitcoin. We need that slower build out of Bitcoin, because if they shut down the Fed today, what is it going to become? It's going to be some crazy dystopian CBDC system, or even worse, some like Mad Max anarcho-capitalist, you know, dystopia. So, like, as much as we want to see Bitcoin start to proliferate around the globe, a slow, gradual climb and adoption is what we need. You know, I know we have the meme "Race to Avoid the War," and of course we do kind of have a deadline. It's just like 2030. We need a slow, gradual adoption of Bitcoin, because even if we were to end the Fed today, shit would get even worse than it is today. And we probably wouldn't wish that upon ourselves or, you know, our worst enemies. So, like, this is why Bitcoin adoption happens the way it does. And I keep saying, you know, as Bitcoiners, we always talk about lowering our time preference, but we're all very high time preference when it comes to the adoption of Bitcoin, because it's like, why isn't this happening fast enough? And yet here and I, Nico, cover this every single day. And it's like, man, things are happening very, very fast. U.S. Speaker of the House, currently maybe not elected, is a Bitcoiner. You know, we have politicians, we have presidential candidates talking about Bitcoin. We have bankers talking about Bitcoin. We have the biggest asset managers in the world talking about Bitcoin. We have the biggest content creators in the world talking about Bitcoin. We have the biggest corporate content creators talking about Bitcoin. And we see hash rates going up. Bitcoin is our stable coin. TikTok next blocks are going up. Like, I think it's just a perfect storm going forward, and this halving that's about to happen and moving into 2025, I think it's just going to be a beautiful, glorious bull run. And then also we eliminated the China FUD. Now we're going to move on to the other big boogeyman, which is going to be some kind of US FUD, and then the Bank of International Settlements FUD. So, hey, dude, it's like a video game, guys. As the Bitcoin video game, we're just progressing on the levels, and this is all inevitable, and this is all going to happen in due time. And so, in the meantime, keep stacking. This is the way, guys.
Keep stacking. This is the way. Guys, before we move on to the culture, I want to tell you about Kaboom Racks. They are the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. The news segment is brought to you by Kaboom Racks. Are you trying to get the top deals, the best prices, repair and hosting services all in one place? Well, your answer is Kaboom Racks. Get started with the link below, or I made it easy for you guys. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you directly to the Kaboom Racks Telegram marketplace. That's where you're going to find the best deals, the latest and greatest Bitcoin ASICs and miners. Also, the Kaboom Racks guys are there to answer any questions you might have about Bitcoin ASICs. So check out Kaboom Racks today to start your mining journey. All right, everybody, let's get to the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys. So yesterday we had Vendetta V4 BTC on, and we went really hard on why you guys need to run nodes. And I was very surprised how many people in the chat aren't running nodes. And I know you guys, and you're constantly here, you're constantly watching the content. And so I kind of figured, like, wow, maybe we need to double down and triple down and quadruple down on you guys running nodes. And so I've done the wallet ones. I'll continuously do this because we are getting new people every single day, seeing new people hang out in the chat. And I think there's some basics, some fundamentals that you as a Bitcoiner, you as a sovereign individual need to do. And one of them is run a node. So I think there is a few ways you can do this, or rather, I don't think, I know there are a few ways you can do this. But first and foremost, why run a node? Well, you've probably heard the meme, don't trust, verify. Well, there's the other meme of your rules, your money. So you want to run the software, guys, because if you're not running the software, not only are you trusting someone else, but you're not in control of your own money. And by running the software, the Bitcoin version that you believe to be the best, not only will you fight against another like block war attack or get hoodwinked by some developer that's trying to pull the rug on you, you will know what you're doing. You have verified the code for yourself, and you don't have to trust anyone or even look to someone else to the software you're running. You run the software yourself. Again, Bitcoin is just software, guys. You need to run the software. Yes, holding Bitcoin is great and all, but running the software is the most important thing, because not only does it keep it decentralized, but you know what you're running and you don't have to trust people. Again, the reason we are in this position right now is because we have outsourced our money to a middleman. Next is the privacy concerns. If you are using someone else's node, then you are basically doxing your transactions to whoever is running that node. At least theoretically, they can see what you're doing with your money. And that's, again, maybe something you do not want to do. The next, and I kind of already said it, is keeping the network decentralized. Just by running a node doesn't mean you're keeping the network decentralized. You got to actually have economic activity go through your node, which basically means connect your wallets to your node. And again, I'm giving you guys a bunch of options, from literal free options to expensive paid options and everything in between. The whole thing about Bitcoin is there is always trade-offs, and there is always, I don't know, a technical hurdle that maybe you do not have the skills, or maybe you don't have the time to do. And so maybe buying a ready-made node is what you want to do. Maybe you want to be, start to lean into being a shadowy supercoder. Anyways, it doesn't have to be that difficult. It is literally not that difficult. If I can do it, I am pretty sure you can do it. I'm not the most technical. I'm persistent. I'm stubborn. So you're just going to have to put in some time. And I even have a Sessions YouTube here that has literally all kinds of different node tutorials. So we got you covered. I'm going to give you the basic run through right now, and then you can go over to Sessions channel and literally pick and choose, and he'll walk you through it directly. Anyways, I think it is almost a rite of passage for every single one of you guys to download Bitcoin Core directly and interact with the wallet. Understand what initial block download is, understand the very original idea of downloading a node. And so I'm over here on bitcoin.org, And again, this is just go to the website. It's not that difficult. So I'm going to walk you through it. And if you go here, this is the landing page. This is the home page. If you wanted to learn about Bitcoin more, then you can read all this stuff. But all you need to do is you go here to participate and you go to running a full node. And we got a full breakdown here. And again, just going back to basics, what is a full node? A full node is a program, is the software, the Bitcoin software that fully validates transactions and blocks. Almost all full nodes also help the network by accepting transactions and blocks from other full nodes, validating those transactions and blocks, and then relaying them to further full nodes. Well, what's this mean? It's words. You probably are a visual learner like me. It's this meme right here by BTC Therapists. Yes, I verified everything. This is a node. It is a person that has verified everything on the network, and then they're gossiping and they're all talking to each other. It's like, yes, I verified every transaction. Oh, you verified every transaction. Let's compare ledgers. Oh, you have the same thing that I do. And that's what the Bitcoin network is. It's everyone having a shared ledger and verifying everything on the transaction is running based on the software that you're running. This is as simple as it is. It's visual. I told you in words. This is why you want to run a node, is so that you can verify the ledger for yourself. Simply as I can say it. Okay, the next thing is the concerns about requirements. What do you need? I kind of say that it literally, if you have a pretty modern laptop, you can run a node. You will need some space. And here, let's get into the requirements. So Bitcoin Core full nodes have certain requirements. If you're trying to run a node on a weak hardware, it may work, but you'll likely spend more time dealing with issues. If you can meet the following requirements, you'll have an easy to use node. Again, this is all on Bitcoin Core. I'm just reading it for the audio for you guys in the chat. So just run it on a desktop or laptop running recent versions of Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. You will need 7 gigs of free disk space accessible at a minimum read/write speed of 100 megabytes. You will need 2 gigabytes of memory RAM. You need broadband internet connection with upload speeds of at least 400 kilobytes or 50 kilobytes per second. Again, this is for your desktop. I will have one awesome mobile version. There's a few, but this is just if you're trying to download on your desktop and create a laptop standalone node. You need an unmetered connection, a connection with high upload limit, or a connection you regularly monitor to ensure it doesn't exceed its upload limit. It's common for full nodes on high-speed connections to use 200 gigabytes upload or more a month, or download using 20 gigabytes a month. And someone asked Briggs in the chat, he asked, do I have to keep my node running at all times, or can I shut it down and shut it off? Yes, to both. You can keep it running all time. There's standalone nodes, which is probably what you want, because there is a trade-off. If you're closing it down and you need to make a transaction quickly, you will need to sync up to the latest block height. And so here on Bitcoin,
can I chime in? Can I chime in here?
Yeah, jump in.
Okay, so it's kind of like a personal preference, right?
Exactly.
We'll let's, because this is a good subject topic. We'll go back and forth and we'll jump in. Okay, so look, you can have your own dedicated like computer, like just to run your own node. You could build one with a Raspberry Pi. You know, Crypto Cloaks makes those 3D printed cases. You can kind of do it. I
got them right here.
You can buy one pre-made. That's what I did. I bought myself a Start 9 pure, like the top of the line one. It's absolutely badass. Highly recommend Start 9. They have 3 tiers of pre-made nodes. You can build one yourself. You can run one like on an old laptop or an old computer that you're not using, that's just always plugged in, and you can have it always plugged into the Bitcoin network. At this point, you can run it on your primary computer. I just don't recommend it because it's like it's so intensive.
Well, not only that, but you're probably doing some other stuff on there and you don't want to connect the two. I know you guys are all on these shady websites, you don't know what kind of spyware you got on your computer.
Exactly. And then if you get like a dedicated device, a lot of these node operating systems like MyNode, Start 9, Start 9 is my favorite. They have settings in place where you can set it up where your node is running through Tor, right? So it's anonymous. You can connect to it remotely. I have Uncle Jim's Opti with MyNode. So it's like, there's different ways to approach it. I definitely recommend getting your own dedicated computer to run it. If you go on the cheaper end, it's not going to cost you more than $300. You can use an old computer if you already have one. Or you can just buy one of the dopest freaking built nodes ever. It's your choice, right? But I don't recommend turning them on and off. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, because guys, like if you really, it says 6 hours a day here at least to have your node running, but you don't know what a headache is until you're like, I need to make a transaction, and then you got to sync up to the latest block height, and you don't know how long it takes. All right, next question. People were asking about initial block download, how long it will take. So just FYI, TLDR, IBD is initial block download, which means when you first download Bitcoin, you will have to download every single block to you get to the latest block. Depending on how strong your software is, it could take up to weeks. I've seen it happen in days on some really powerful one, or even hours. But if you're using just like a Raspberry Pi, Blitz, I think when I did it, it took like 2 weeks, and I might have messed up and it got stuck. All right. Next thing is you're literally just a download. You're just going to press buttons and it's going to download. But what you have to do, and I think this is the most important thing here, and on Bitcoin.org, they should change this, to be honest. It says optional, verify the release signatures. I think this is not optional. I've seen friends get wrecked because they thought they've downloaded a wallet or a node that was spyware, and they just like instantly, they were stressing out, they downloaded it, and they just wrecked themselves because they didn't verify the release signatures. You will have to use PGP, guys, and maybe that's going to take you a little homework to do, but it's really not that hard. Again, we're over here on bitcoin.org/download, and you literally just press the button and you download, and then you download the verifying release signatures, and you just run some command line. It's pretty easy. Anyways, next one, my personal favorite desktop wallet is Sparrow Bitcoin. I think it's beautiful. It is privacy concern, security, easy to use. They value self-sovereignty, and you can just download it again, verify the release. They'll show you how to do it. And you can also use Bitcoin Core or a private Electrum server. I know Nico's an Electrum server junkie. Wouldn't really recommend using the public servers, but hey, it's probably better than...
No, I'm an Electrum wallet junkie. Okay.
Oh, Electrum wallet junkie.
Electrum wallet junkie. Okay. I use my own Start9 as my...
Well, you've upgraded now. Let me get there. Okay. Next one. Someone asked, I'm not going to download a node until I'm able to do it on my phone. Well, I think I think Bitcoin Knots might be able to do that, but I really like I forget what it is, the Lightning version, where they basically download a Lightning node on your phone. And I've become a very big fan of Phoenix. And it's a Bitcoin wallet. It's native Lightning support, non-custodial, and it is a full quote-unquote real Lightning node, self-contained Lightning node that runs on your phone. It does not require you to run another Lightning node. It's beautiful. I think Phoenix is becoming one of the best Lightning wallets, and it is running technically a whole node on your phone. So Briggs, you can download Phoenix. You will be able to verify the transactions for yourself. It is a Lightning wallet as well. So these are the free options. You can download a desktop node, either using Bitcoin Core, or download Bitcoin Core and then connect Sparrow, because I just like the features of Sparrow, or just download Phoenix on your phone. And then the next one is the lower end of the spectrum. This is what I personally did. I made a Raspberry Pi with Raspberry Blitz, and I had a standalone node. I think the time when I did it, it was like $175. You can buy a standalone one here on where is it? On shop.fullmo.org, and I saw it's around like $350 or something like that. So I don't know if the Raspberry Pis are becoming more expensive because you can't find them anymore. I know there was like a shortage for a little bit. So maybe the price points now is around like 300 something bucks, a couple $100 to get a standalone node. Basically the price of, like a laptop. One of my friends, Skeef, he's very big on like just get a ThinkPad from eBay, cleared off, and then add some RAM on it and some memory, and you'll be good to go. That's his way. Again, there's trade-offs to all of this. The next one is also Raspberry Pi usage, but it's mynodebtc.com. You can see the interface here. You can download a bunch of different apps on there. And I think I do have the price over here. So you can just download the software for $100, buy one for $400, buy the latest version for $600, or just download the software and it's free. And this one, they give you some premium features. Next one is Umbral. These ones look kind of cool. It almost looks like some kind of server you have at home, like something from the Apple store. And it's $500 for one of these cool things. And again, you can get all these different apps on this Umbral. I'm pretty sure Umbral uses Raspberry Pi as well. Or you get yourself a Nodal Dojo. If you've been a fan of the show, you know Red makes it go faster. Again, all encompassed. Just buy it, plug and play, ready to go nodes. This is probably what most people would want to do. I always say it's a very simple meme. You know, people with money just spend money to save time. And if you don't have the money, then you just put in the time. And it's all going to end to the same road. You just need to run a node one way or another. Just do it slowly. Make sure you're not wrecking yourself. And then, of course, as Nico's been saying, the Start 9, which is probably like the premium top tier node that you can get. It does run a pretty penny, but it's beautiful, completely sovereign.
That's not necessarily true.
Well, I know
bro.
I got him over here.
Yeah.
It's normal, but I'm talking about the server pure, the heavy duty one.
There's different tiers, bro. There's the
server
server
light, $200.
Server light, which is actually really, really cheap compared to a lot of the other guys, and it's running the Start 9 software.
See, do I have?
And then it's the server 1, which is awesome, and then the server pure, which is just an absolute powerhouse. Highly recommend. That's the one that I use. I highly recommend Start 9. I truly believe that they make the best nodes in the industry at the moment. I can't recommend it enough. It's freaking awesome. Get yourself a Start 9. The Start 9. If you want to go to the Start 9 website, check the video description. It's all there. But yeah, they have the server light, the server 1, and the server pure. So depending on your budget, what you're looking for, this is definitely the one I recommend. It's all open source, and there's a Telegram group that you can go in there. It's like a support group, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So definitely check out Start 9.
Highly recommend the Start 9.
Yeah.
That's the what do they call it now? It's a pure. That's like the heavy duty one. That's probably the best in the game right now.
Yeah, definitely the best in the game. It's pretty expensive. But it's definitely worth every penny, especially if you're a power user. All right. Server 1 is great. And then the server light is pretty cool too. If
so
you're
guys,
on a budget.
I just ran it basic down. Obviously I'm just giving you an overview. I'm giving you different options that I think you should use. But if you want to do deeper dives, go watch BTC Sessions on YouTube. He literally has this all. He'll walk you through it. He'll hold your hand through the whole process. And it goes from literally Bitcoin Core to Umbral to Start 9, Raspberry Blitz. He's got all the tutorials you need over here. And he will show you exactly how to do it. So if you still feel like you can't run a node based on this, go watch his YouTube tutorials. He'll get you on board. But guys, you need to run a node. If you watch us, you need to run a node. Like either become the Uncle Jim to your friends and family or just run a node for yourself. But it is paramount that you verify the transactions for yourself, that you are downloading the entire Bitcoin ledger, that you are using the Bitcoin software as it is intended to use so you don't have to trust people. This is what we're doing. Verify. Make sure you are verifying the Bitcoin ledger. And so we can continue to show that the users are the ones in control. Those running the nodes are the ones in control. So
100%.
This is why you need to do it, guys. And of course, privacy concerns and all that good stuff. But
100%. And let's go with personal recommendations because I think that's a great topic. So I'll go first. I love Sparrow, I love Electrum, and I love connecting them to my Start 9 server pure. That's my cup of tea. That's what I love to do. That's what I like. Everyone's got a different choice. Opti, what's your poison, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I've like I told you guys, I'm running Sparrow, which is connected to Bitcoin Core. That's personally what I love. And then I don't have a Start 9, but I would highly recommend the Start 9. I've used Nico's Uncle Jimming me on my mobile apps and stuff going through Tor. I absolutely love it. And but I have a Raspberry Pi Blitz set up over here that I made a few years ago. I actually have yet to connect it since I've moved like 2 months ago. So because Nico's Uncle Jimming me through Start9. So I'd much rather trust Nico than trust, a public server, Electrum server. Oh, also, guys, do not trust the random public Electrum servers. We know that they may be honeypots. Make sure if you're going to do the Electrum server route, run it for yourself. You could do that with the Start9 or, the other options as well. But the Start9's a beast. You can do so much stuff on that thing.
100%. And if you are in a position where you have to use a public server, go with the Blockstream public server.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
go with the Blockstream public server out of all of them. But yeah, don't connect to like a random one, because what you're doing is you're not doxing your pub files, but you are basically making it like that Bitcoin node is going to know, okay, this specific IP address is asking about these certain addresses, so that they can make an assumption that, okay, this person probably has something to do with those Bitcoin addresses.
Well, especially if you are withdrawing from KYC exchanges, then you're connecting your government identity, your birth name, to potentially some honeypot ABC agency out there that is definitely running Bitcoin.
Exactly. So run your own node, trust minimize, especially.
Oh, wait, Nico, before we go on, UTXO. Yeah, that's what I was blanking on. The Phoenix wallet, I'm pretty sure, uses Bloom filters. I think it's Breeze that does it as well, or Moon. I forget which ones they do, but oh, look at this. Darth Coin just hit me in the chat, and he says, let's set up an Electrum server for SB users. Okay. Wow. All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
we might just do that. And what about a Lightning node too? It's a public Lightning node for.
I don't know if the Lightning node would work, because we'd probably have access to. They could just connect their wallets to
the
our
Simply
server.
Bitcoin Lightning node. Yeah, exactly.
No, because they'd have to have their own wallets. We might need a Simply Bitcoin Electrum server. Well, let's talk about that, Darth. Anyways, Nico, I see we're running very late, but I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. All right. No, and I hope it was educational for you guys. All right, everybody. Yeah, that's right. Now we're all tacos. Darth Coin for the win. Darth Coin, what are you going to do? Speaking of Darth Coin, guys, we did make it over 1,000. Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group, but those are rookie numbers. We need those numbers to go up. Next target is 1,500. So if you're enjoying the show, make sure to join Simply Bitcoin Telegram group. Go to t.me/simplybitcointv. Join the group. That's where you're going to post the memes. It's extremely lively. Shout out to the community over there. Shout out to Darth Coin for holding it down. Shout out to all our mods. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate the lively community in there. Chatting about Bitcoin, chatting about the latest events. So I highly recommend joining Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group. Also, by the way, guys, you can find us on all the audio only platforms. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain. Shout out to all you guys for streaming us sats on Fountain. You've been keeping us in the top 50 of the most watched podcast on Fountain for like literally a couple months straight. So we appreciate all the stats that you're streaming us. Keep it going. It really, really helps us a lot to keep the show on air. We do this every single day. We have a big team to maintain. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the memes. We got a lot of memes to review. Let's check them out.
The Daily Meme Review.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying that in the chat. Again, I say it all the time. Just send us requests, or just tag me in Telegram group, whatever you guys have, or drop them in the chat as well. I'm constantly reading the chat and seeing what your questions are, and I'll figure out and morph some culture for you guys if I'm able to do it well and present to you guys the information in a way that is entertaining as well. And because I don't have the cameras to show you everything, so I can only do so much. And then I have all you degens in the chat that are blowing my stuff up when I do this stuff live, and I'm using the Telegram group. You know who you are. Anyways, tweets of the bullets, memes of the artillery. We are in an information war. You are frontline soldiers. Continue to get the calls of action out there. Continue to ridicule the corporate press and continue to make the funnies. Anyways, this first one is Darth Coin from the chat. He was trolling me because I had my hoodie on yesterday because I was cold. And he basically said, Opti looks like Kenny. And then everyone in Telegram was like, don't kill Opti. Oh, no. Wait, what did it say? You killed Opti, you bastards. Let's hope not, guys. Let's hope not. I'm just a simple YouTuber. Next one is by @Ronin21BTC. And very fitting considering the numbers. And he goes, you love to see it. Smirk. #Bitcoin. And it is the hash rate. And it's going up forever, Laura. Hold on. You know, this is for the price usually, but
It's going up forever.
the
Laura.
hash rate is going up forever and ever and ever and ever. Maybe there'll be a day when it, equalizes, but it's going up forever. Anyways, Mitchell Hoddle, next meme, he goes, which way, Western man? And it goes, choose your fighter. And we got a person here watching Netflix and reading the New York Times and drinking Starbucks. And you, hold on. All right, you want to know why I brought this one up, guys? Because this one's so meta. You got the Bitcoin over here who's eating steak, lifting weights, likes guns, likes Bitcoin, whatever. The meta one here is the United States Postal Service versus the FedEx. I thought that was hilarious. That's meta right there, Nico. That is some meta stuff right there. Either a private company or a government service. That made me laugh, dude. That was hilarious. I guess Opti nerd confirmed. Okay, next one is by Not That Elon @eggplant_Elon. He goes, sending sats to cold storage after society has collapsed. And we got a dude here with a cell phone and he's on a donkey with solar panels, in his army jacket. This is what we will be doing when we send sats off the grid. We off the grid. All right, next one. This one's hilarious. Captain Kirk calling fake Toshi out. We got William Shatner on Twitter quote tweeting this Satoshi Nakamoto tweet, and the community notes that Craig Wright claims to be Satoshi but has been proven to be a fraud. He controls this account and it should not be trusted. And we got William Shatner going, aka Captain Kirk, going, why doesn't Craig just give it up? This is embarrassing. #fake Toshi. And he's just getting trolled, dude. Dunking on Craig Wright. Shout out to William Shatner. That's hilarious. I forgot that he's a Bitcoiner. Okay, next one. Wojak Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin and HODL. And we got, a midwit Wojak here. And he goes, Bitcoin is too expensive now. I'm going to buy altcoins instead. And the Chad Bitcoiner, this is literally every single one of us. Just buy Bitcoin and hold your own keys or else you are going to get scammed. No, my coins are down 90%, but NFTs are the future of crypto. Just buy Bitcoin and hold your own keys or else you will get scammed. No, but the NFT I bought for $500 is only worth $1 now. I'm going to buy Bitcoin and earn a yield on it. No, just buy Bitcoin, hold your own keys, or else you're going to get scammed. The company that was holding my Bitcoin went bankrupt and I lost everything. But ordinals are going to the moon. No, just buy Bitcoin, hold your own keys, or else you are going to get scammed, guys. It's that simple. Simplify your life, guys. Keep it simple, stupid. All right, I did a meme or a culture the other day on UTXO management. I will do it again if I have to. But we can put it in memes. Summed up the whole 15-20-minute rant here with, you should be doing the same type of thing with your Bitcoin. Learn UTXO management. It goes, me organizing my finances, and you can see all the different coin sizes. They're all, random. And then, like every one of us autistic OCD people, we line them all up, make sure they're all nice. Actually, funny story. My grandfather, totally off topic. It's fiat. He used to literally put every bill in order in his wallet. And I started to do that as well when I was a kid. And they're like, oh, your grandpa did. I'm like, well, genius, like-minded individuals. Guys, get your UTXO management in order right now while the mem pools are clearing. Anyways, drop your meme review score on the other side of Nico. And we will cover ours live. Let me see. Here, I got one. All right. What do I need to update my Chrome? Everyone's saying I need to update my Chrome. How do you know that my thing isn't updated? Oh, there's an update here. Oh, I see it. Okay, Andres, I'll update it. All right, my meme review score is this old calculator that I guess almost looks like a Bitcoin wallet.
Maybe it is a Bitcoin
Maybe it is a Bitcoin wallet.
I'm going to give it this orange lock. Orange lock.
Orange lock. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Protect
Drop
yourself.
meme review score in the chat.
Protect yourself.
But get yourself a Simply Bitcoin hoodie.
Get yourself some Simply Bitcoin merch. Guys, it really, really helps us support the channel.
Like, Nico's being nice, guys. If you want to keep us as independent as possible, support us with some merch. We will give you some more merch. We don't want to give you guys cheap merch. We're trying to give you guys the best merch possible. So not only are you going to support us, but you're spreading the brand that is Simply Bitcoin. Not just us, the brand, but the idea. It's just good marketing. Guys, it is Simply Bitcoin. Shit coins are trash. Simply Bitcoin is the solution. We will give you guys some new merch ideas. We have a bunch of ideas. We're talking with friends that are also Bitcoiners on giving you guys as much dope stuff as possible. It really means the world to us, guys.
100%. And it's high quality. It's like we pay attention in the stitching. It literally says Bitcoiner slavery in the back, right? So we pay attention to the details. We source from our boys over at Represent, which is a Bitcoin company. They make high quality products. So that's who makes our merch. So we really
Literally
pay attention
circular
to that.
economy
Yeah,
from
guys.
Bitcoiners for
So
Bitcoiners.
help us stay on the air. You know, help us, please buy our merch if you can, if you want to support the channel. All right, everybody.
But stack sats first, and then
stack sats first. That's priority number one. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's get to Opti. Cue the music, please.
We're ready.
All right, here. All right, we got first one by... I give the Bitcoin for Canadians. I give the memes. Captain Kirk hitting Craig Wright with phasers on stun. All right. Star Trek. UTXO says my meme score is space, the final frontier.
Hey, dude, we're going heavy on Captain Kirk today.
BTC is truth. Node runners are freedom fighters. Oof.
Yes. This is a peaceful revolution. Just run the software.
Son of Satoshi is Alejandro. My meme review score is afraid of rejection, won't call. Okay. Next one, Narwhal
Is that what I
Tacos.
think it is, Andres?
Score, quote, give my memes or give me death. Oh, give me memes or give me death.
Wait, Nico. Vake's back in the chat. He says enable
super chats. We will.
We're delaying it, Vake. We're trying not to nuke our channel. So we talked to the ZBD guys. We'll maybe figure out a way to do it with Lightning.
We'll have something soon. Christine Lagarde, praying mantis version, Bitcoiner slavery in the back, the back.
No. I know what he's saying. You don't read that.
Sail Dog 18. I give the memes 5 instructional videos from Simply Sessions. Okay. Next one, Igor. I give the memes 2 sats and a kiss from me. Why do you guys have to ruin good things? Phil C. I give the memes scarcity and network effect. All right. I think we're. All right, we're done. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution is share this content. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. Don't be exclusive. Be inclusive. That's how we're going to push the orange signal. Help us continue to break the Bitcoin echo chamber. Help us win the race to avoid the war. Spread the message. Take agency as an individual. It's up to you. It's up to you. All right, guys. Love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.